Hello, everyone. This week I wanted to cover flexibility and stretching. First, I wanted to start off by talking about some positives of stretching. Stretching can increase your range of motion if you stretch 2 to 3 times a week for at least 4 weeks. That's when you'll start seeing some progress. Stretching can decrease muscle stiffness, it can increase postural stability and your balance when used with resistance training. So if you resistance train and you're stretching, it'll increase postural stability, it'll increase balance. So we have 6 types of stretching. So first we have static stretching. This is a slow stretch where you hold a position for 10 to 30 seconds. A fact about static stretching is that it can cause acute decrease in muscular strength and power. What this is saying that if before a muscular strength or power training, so if you're resistance training and you do the static stretching, it will decrease your muscle strength, muscle power. So this leads me to this next point of dynamic stretching. So this is a gradual transition from one position to another over several times. So this could be high knees, butt kickers. We're warming up those muscles in a dynamic way, a moving way. Next, we have ballistic stretching. Ballistic meaning a bouncing stretch. What this is that it uses momentum of a moving body part to stretch the muscle. Next, we have active static. This is where you hold a position using the strength of an antagonist muscle. So, what this means, this is usually used in yoga where you're holding a position that's stretching the muscle, but it's more of a workout because you're activating that antagonist muscle. So, this could be also thought of as like a lunge. You're stretching that hamstring while also activating your quad. Um, Next, we have passive static. This is where you're in a position holding the limb with or without assistance of someone else or some prop. So, what this can mean is you're laying on your back and you have a resistance band pulling your leg back. That would be active static. You're using something. Oh, wait, no, this would be passive static. I'm sorry. It would be, it's passive because you're using something to pull your leg, you're using something to stretch that leg. Next, we have what's called PNF, which is proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. What this is a isometric contraction. So this is what we talked about where we're flexing the muscle, but we're not moving. So like a wall sit. So this would be isometric contraction followed by a stretch of that muscle. So what this could be is if we're lying on our back and we have PNF, usually you need an assistant or someone to stretch for you. So where this isometric contraction comes in is if we're laying on our back and we're stretching our glutes, our hams. So we're laying on our back, pulling our knee to our chest, or someone's pushing the knee to our chest. What I would do is push back into their foot, really contracting that muscle, forcing that muscle to work. You would do that for 3 to 5 seconds, and then the partner would straighten out the leg, push it forward to stretch that hamstring. So that's really it. Is just an isometric contraction followed by a stretch. So the FIT principle for flexibility training or stretching would be at least 2 to 3 days a week, with 7 days being the most effective. So we're stretching daily. Um, the intensity, it would be to the point of discomfort. So you don't want to overstretch. You don't want to stretch that muscle too much. So you just want to go to that point of discomfort. The type, you would want to stretch all major muscle tendon groups. So shoulders, hips, knees, hamstrings, all those major muscles. Those are just a couple examples. And you want to include a variety of stretching. So we want to have static, dynamic, ballistic, active static, passive static, and PNF. We want to include all different kinds of those. For time, you're going to want to hold a stretch for 10 to 30 seconds with 60 seconds total of a group. So if we're stretching the hamstrings this day, we're going to want to stretch that hamstring for at least 60 seconds.